Brian, you want to lead us in the pledge?
Sure.
We got 5:30.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Ryan. Roll call.
Rick Scott,
Here.
Mark Serbrook,
Here.
Charles Wiltie,
Here.
Roger Mayhew,
Yes.
Jenny David.
Here. Any additions or corrections to the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Motion from Commissioner Serbrook,
For.
support from Commissioner Wiltie. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Declaration of conflicts of interest. Are there any commissioners?
None. None. I have none.
Review of minutes. We have 4A, June 12th, 2025, regular meeting minutes.
I've read those. I'll make a motion that we approve them as presented.
Motion from Commissioner Scott,
Support.
support from Commissioner Serbrook. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4B, June 12th, 2025, closed session meeting minutes.
Motion to accept those.
Motion from Commissioner Scott,
Support.
support from Commissioner Serbrook. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. June 17th, 2025, committee of the whole meeting minutes.
Support.
Motion from Commissioner Wiltie. Support.
Support.
Support from Commissioner Serbrook. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. June 17th, closed session meeting minutes.
Make a motion.
Make a motion.
Support.
Motion Commissioner Wiltie, support from Commissioner Scott. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comment on agenda item manners. Any public comment in the room? Any public comment on the phone? Correspondence. We received correspondence from Michigan Department of Natural Resources related to the Forest Management Open House.
Antanagan.
County opposition to proposed cuts to Medicaid by the federal government. Washtenaw County opposition to MDDH plan for competitive procurement. Those have been received and filed. Consent agenda. Are you guys okay with combining those?
Yes,
I think we are.
I am. I'll make a motion to pass A through D on a consent agenda. Support.
Motion from Commissioner Scott, support from Commissioner Serbrook. This is resolution to approve zoning text amendment 01-25, resolution to approve zoning text amendment 02-25, resolution to approve Region 9 Area Agency on Aging proposed 2026 annual implementation plan. 7D, resolution to approve county building security department structure. Any discussion?
It's good to me.
Roll call vote?
Jenny David.
Yes.
Roger Mayhew.
Yes.
Charles Wiltie,
Yes.
Mark Serbrook.
Yes.
Craig Scott.
Yes.
Item 8A, resolution to appoint a member to the Special Housing Advisory Committee. Someone gonna make a motion?
I will make a motion.
Motion from Commissioner Wiltie,
I will support Commissioner Wiltie's motion.
motion from Commissioner Serbrook. This resolution is sponsored by the Special Housing Advisory Committee. At their June 18th meeting, the Special Housing Advisory Committee recommended adding a representative from Rose City to their membership. Approval of the resolution will appoint Rose City Clerk Jennifer M. Hurley to the committee for a term to expire December 31st, 2025. We have a motion with support. Tim, do you want to add anything to this?
Really don't. Jennifer's been attending the meetings here, particularly the last two meetings, been a participant, and the committee was very excited to have somebody from Rose City interested.
Yeah, I could add just a little to that.
Go ahead.
As the co-chair of the housing committee, Mrs. Hurley has been to a lot of our meetings. And she's the clerk for Rose City, and there are a number of people in Rose City that wanted to develop some housing there. Really good to have some support from a Rose City resident.
Fantastic. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 8B, resolution to approve a collective bargaining agreement with Police Officers Labor Council Command Officers Unit. A tentative agreement was reached between representatives of Ogemaw County and Police Officer Labor Council Command Officers Unit for the period of October 1st, 2024 through September 30th, 2027. Union members ratified the proposal on June 24th, 2025. Approval of the resolution will document the board's ratification of the tentative agreement.
Make a motion that we approve the resolution.
Motion from Commissioner Serbrook, support from Commissioner Wiltie. Discussion. This is what we talked about in quite a bit of detail at closed session.
Yes.
Any questions on it?
No.
That's what we talked about. Yes.
Yes. Has nothing to do with the grievances. Correct?
Correct.
Anything else to add to that, Tim?
No, unless there's questions.
Roll call vote.
Charles Wiltie,
Yes.
Mark Serbrook,
Yes.
Craig Scott,
Yes.
Jenny David.
Yes.
Roger Mayhew.
Yes.
Item 8C, claims. I'll make a motion to claims is a total of $270,736.93.
Support.
I'll make a motion with Commissioner Mayhew. We reviewed claims. There was, the biggest one on there was a window project for $132,000. Childcare was $15,000. The commissioners also MTA renewal was $2,500. Crime victims was, oh, I can't read my writing. EDC grant was $13,000. Housing Aranet County inmates was on there. I didn't see any other housing bills, but the Aranet County was on there for $7,781. An autopsy was on there for $2,600. MSU fourth quarter was on there. And man, cleaning chemical buses I put on there, 888. I don't know what that
That's
is.
the one, that was a 1 year thing.
That's in Tony's report, I believe it's in his report. It's on our iPads when we get to the reports.
Okay.
I believe Tony included that.
Yep.
Can I ask a question? Was there the EDC loan?
Mhm. EDC grant,
Grant.
yep. It was 13,000.
Right. I saw the name, but it doesn't, Cedar something. I don't remember what it was. I'm just curious as to what it's for. I mean, what they're.
Commissioner Wiltie, can you answer that?
Oh, that's for the loan?
Yes.
Yeah, they're a business outside of Rose City,
Okay,
and they breed dogs. And
okay,
we gave them a loan a while back for expanding their business.
okay. I was just curious because it said Cedar, if I'm not mistaken, Cedar something or other, and it just didn't ring any bells with that. I didn't know what kind of business it was, so thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
There's also a window on there that was $500 and some dollars. I thought that was a lot of money, but we came up that it was a replacement, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a repair. Any questions?
Vehicles,
Yeah.
sheriff's.
Yep.
Oh, I see. Yep.
Any further questions?
No.
Roll call vote. Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Scott.
have none. I have none.
Mark Serbrook,
Yes.
Craig Scott,
Yes.
Jenny David.
Yes.
Roger Mayhew.
Yes.
Charles Wiltie.
Yes.
Unfinished business. Any commissioners?
No.
Item 10, Administrator/Controller's report.
A couple of things on the report, just to review with you. The first thing I want to go over just briefly, on the bottom of page 2, you'll see the timetable for the audit RFP. That's going to be issued on Monday. I've identified 17 different audit firms who audit counties throughout Michigan. Just getting my contacts in line. One of the firms has already declined to submit a proposal. That's Plant Moran. The reasoning, number one, geography, and number two, the size of the county. They are auditing counties like Wayne and Oakland, and we're just not going to compete with that level of business. But the other 16 firms will have a RFP directly mailed to them. They will be due back, their proposals back by August 6th. So at the August 7th Committee of the Whole, we'll open those bids here and have a rough idea of how many responses we have. I will sit down with the treasurer over that following week to go over the proposals to make sure that they meet all the requirements. And there are several in there, but they should be familiar to anybody submitting a proposal to us because they're all required either by the state or federal government. We will then put the checklist together for you to look at the following regular meeting on August 14th. You'll see the firm name, the price, and then any notes that we might have for you. You can then rank the proposals. for the purpose of the following week, having interviews with the firms. So literally bring them in here. You can talk to them directly. There may be a cutoff point. I have no idea what the prices are going to come in at. There, you might have a cutoff point and say, we don't want anybody that's over a certain amount, whatever that is. We can talk about that at the time. But we're on schedule then to have a selection of a new audit firm on August 28th. I am proposing a 3-year agreement. That's pretty common throughout the industry. So it'll be a 3-year agreement, and usually the firms will propose a 3-year renewal at the conclusion of that 3 years. If the county is satisfied, wait to see what their responses are. But that's coming. That's right in the middle of budget process as well. So it'll be a busy month in August. Our current contract expired at the conclusion of the audit that was just completed here in March. So with the pricing on this compliance with our own policy, we'll put that out to bid and we'll see what we get.
I'm surprised at Planet Moran because they do Michigan Works.
They used to do a lot of counties, and I did notice going through the list, they're not doing many anymore. It's literally Wayne and Oakland, and that's about it. Now, they may be doing some of the cities, they might do Detroit and Flint and so on, but as blunt as that was, geography and size eliminated us. Who knew?
They come right to our meeting too. I mean,
After the big buck.
they're on top of things.
Yeah.
Questions, comments? For Tim?
No, I don't.
Well, thank you,
have
Ken.
anything right now.
Thank you.
Item 11, elected officials and department head reports. Clerk,
No update.
any elected officials, department heads on the phone?
Seeing.
Matters from the floor. Motions for adoption? Commissioners reports. Commissioner Serbrook?
Sure. Yourself and I, Madam Chair,
Yes.
went to the Knights of Columbus Hall in regards to, was it the Children's Resource Center? Is that what, Children's Resource Center?
Yeah, I put Children's Advocacy Resource Center.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the correct title is in regards to, they're seeking some fundraising, and I believe that given the county's improving financial condition, that we could probably, when the time comes, allocate more funds than where they provide just a ton of services. They're running out of room up there. They had beautiful floor plan of what they intend to do. They've already raised, what, $800,000?
$800,000.
800,000, and it's all come basically out of Roscommon County.
Some very big donors.
Yeah, some of them, I think she named like 3 of them that are over $100,000 donations. So we should be so lucky to have some benefactors in Ogemaw that should be up for us. It'd be nice, but anyway, Jenny and I attended that. Commissioner Wiltsey and I had community mental health board meeting. We have gotten one half of what they call Finance 101, help explain as to how this pass-through dollars from the state of Michigan to the PIHPs and then how it works its way down to the local CMHs. Very interesting. Come to find out that there's 2 CMHs in the state of Michigan that are the one I knew about, which was Northern Lakes, which is north of us, includes Grand Traverse and Leelanau County. $700+ million in the hole. Well, one in Kent County is worse off than that. They're over 12 million in the hole.
Wow.
So yeah, it was very interesting. And then I was at transit with Commissioner Wiltsey and Tim this morning. I had to leave early because I had a medical appointment in Saginaw, so I'll defer the finer details to Commissioner Wiltsey. That concludes my report.
Commissioner Hill.
I went to clocking and the group there that's trying to redo the Rose City School, and they had their spiel on all they were gonna do and how much help they had and what their plans was, and trying to get the townships all in a line to support them. And I think it'll be good. I think it needs a lot more work than they think, but that's just. And we had a commissioners meeting in my other 2 meetings, so I didn't have to go, I guess.
Yeah, those 2 ladies came to Hill Township at the last meeting as well. And they went over their plans and their stages. They would like for the townships to go to collaborate, go in and purchase the, which was very, very, I think it was $1 purchase, but some renovations to the Rose City Elementary School. And kind of do what they wanted to replicate what they did over in Hale to their previous school, kind of like a community type of center. They have some office space in there. They have a gym. They have, like a cafeteria. They get into quite a bit of detail versus that building just sitting and deteriorating, because parts of that building are not very old. And it has, like they said, it's really, maintained over the years. It hasn't, there's no graffiti. There hasn't been anything detrimental happen to that building. So they really would like to make use of it. Memberships, they were going over as far as what they're really looking for is each one of these townships to provide so much funding per year over the next, I don't recall if it was 3 or 5 years.
Two, supposed to be 10,000 for two,
Okay.
right, to start.
And then they felt like from there, they could pretty much with some donating and fundraising, that they would be self-sufficient. So, I mean, it sounds like a great plan. They were extremely excited about the idea. We'll see where it goes. Hill Township, they really wanted them to be the first to sign on, but they wanted to meet with the other townships just to have a generalized discussion. Their questions they couldn't necessarily answer, which was if this doesn't survive and say there's a debt load, who's responsible for the debt load? That was Hill Township's, big question. So it was a valid question. So they wanted to meet with the other ones. It's too bad they talked about having a conversation at one of the MTA meetings, but that meeting had just happened. So there was some urgency to this. They had a deadline. They were going to ask for an extension because there was no way that this decision was going to be made in that short period of time, when they had some valid questions. I attended the meeting as well with Commissioner Serbrook. I actually enjoyed it. Unfortunately, it was a very poor turnout just with businesses here from the West Branch, Ogemaw County area. She went over some numbers, and those numbers are quite high. It's now not just a child center. They're also doing adult exams there. So they're looking at raising, LaDonna was there as well. What was our goal? $1 million? It was
Million.
$1.2 million.
I think it was $1.2 million.
It was definitely attainable.
And that's phase one.
Yeah, they have a lot of, she's got support up there from the commissioners. It sounds like they're really backing her on this. They turned that juvenile detention center, I believe it was, into this nice facility. She went over how much they've grown over the years, what services they offer. They wanted to add some security for safety purposes. Basically, there was 3 or 4 stages.
And their traffic flow up there, I understand what they need to do, what they need to do with that building, because you have to kind of understand how those forensic interviews with kids go and stuff. And traffic flow is a big deal.
Mhm.
When you have police officers and these kids that have been abused because they're sometimes really afraid of police officers, and it's a complicated issue, and you have to be trained in doing forensic interviews. And so there's a whole lot that goes into this. They have done a fantastic job, and, we've all heard, and I can speak from experience, they do a fantastic job. LaDonna sings their praises all the time.
Yes.
Her office would be in trouble if it were not for that services that those people provide. And kind of like where I was getting to, and I don't think I really said it, was, hopefully we can find it in our budget to, at least we're paying, I think we're donating
5,000.
5,000. I would hope that we could at least go 10, if not 20, depending upon what our budgets look like. But I think, the bang for the buck is definitely worth it. They do a fantastic job in what they do, and like
They offer services after, they're offering more and more and more services.
provide
there.
mental health after the fact if they're.
The other, she did invite anybody up there who wants to come and have a tour. They have times and dates, and they were very open to that idea. So the other thing is I went to the fly-in Saturday. Commissioner Wiltie, I did see you cooking, which was very nice. It was very, very nice. Not as good a turnout as what I was anticipating. Probably weather related. It was kind of rainy and not so nice out, but what a nice event, a very nice event that the airport puts on. So that's it for me. Commissioner Scott?
Well, I attended the airport meeting, but wasn't able to attend the fly-in because I went to the emergency room instead.
Um. The airport meeting was good, but it was quick. We just didn't have much, business to handle. Um. uh, we were gonna go to health department and got mixed up on dates or whatever, and Mark and I didn't end up going. I haven't had any, I missed a city meeting and, so I haven't been very active, but, while we were sitting here, Tom Spencer texted me that there was a caller that was on, not now, but was on earlier with a hand waving.
Really? I didn't.
So every net,
I didn't see it in comments, but he said he did, and then he left, so,
oh, there's another area for public comment.
yeah. So, other than that, I don't have anything, just some stuff coming up. Of course, my birthday's coming up.
Commissioner Wiltie.
Guys, Commissioner Serbrook stated we had a well-advanced meeting this past Monday. Really enjoying that board. Obviously, we know mental health is a problem in our county throughout the state, so this is a very important entity. And just a reminder that Wellvance covers Ogemaw, Iosco, Oscoda counties. And it is very refreshing to see the financial position we're in compared to some of the CMHs. As Commissioner Serbrook said, with Northern Lakes at almost $7 million in the hole, we're financially in a very good position. So really enjoying being on that board. EDC, we had a meeting last week, a lot of activity going on. We do know that, we've got some more jobs coming to town with the building out there on 30 across from the hospital. There's some other businesses that have, I know, been reached out to the area. West Branch has a lot of good positive momentum going right now. And it's great to see, Penny's working hard with childcare. We know childcare is been a big problem and is a big problem in the county. She continues to work really hard at that. We haven't heard anything back more on our broadband, but we do know that there will be more broadband coming to areas in the county that really need it, but we just don't have any more specific information yet on that. Our EDC magazine will be finished soon, and as soon as it is, I'll make sure to send it to all of you guys so you can see some of the things that we've done throughout this year, some of the items that we're working on right now. Fly-in, as Commissioner David said, such a great event. The weather early in the morning really hurt for a lot of the planes that want to fly in that aren't instrument rated. We had some low clouds and rainy weather. So that kind of hurt some of our numbers. I think the weather kept some people from coming out, but still was a great event. We fed over 450 people. Dr. Short and his crew of pilots, 4 jets all flew in together at one time. These are retired fighter jets, just incredible to see. There's a helicopter there that did a candy drop. It's just such a great event. It's such a beautiful building, and our airport is a huge asset to here to Ogemaw County. Very fortunate to have it. A neat item going on tonight in Mills Township. It looks like I'm going to be able to attend with this meeting. Going to be a shorter meeting at 6:30. They're having a meeting an open meeting, regards to how to spend money with the parks and recs. I mean, obviously Mills Township, we have a lot of parks. There has been a lot of really good positive work done there the last few years at our parks, but the new board has been very transparent and open and communicating, asking the public, the township residents, what they want to see. So tonight at 6:30 is a great time for them to all come and talk about what they'd like to see done at our parks and our lakes. And I think that is just great that they're doing that. We had a transit meeting this morning. Our director had some training, so he wasn't able to be there, but he did give us a very detailed report. July 14th is when the new hours of operation will start. Just like we're constantly doing, trying to figure out ways that we can save any type of money. We're a lot more data driven than we ever have been. One item we did talk about today, because we understand that, with the change in hours, that does affect a few people, and it's something that we don't take lightly. And I will make sure that, since we are so data driven now, that with this new operation, and after a set amount of time, we'll be able to look back and see if you know, if it's worth running that extra bus and labor and everything during that peak period. So it is something that we will monitor closely, and we're very fortunate to have Tony because he's a very data-driven guy. And he's doing a real good job out there looking into a bunch of different options for other items to streamline and be more efficient. One of them is a new dispatching software. He sent us a bunch of information on. You know, obviously that would come with a cost. We don't know what that cost would be, and we're just looking into things, again, to be more productive and efficient. And that could also help, increase our ridership with, it's easier for people to use our transit system, so. Other than that, that's all I had.
If I could just add one thing to the transit, everybody's got that report on their iPad.
You're right.
And I would ask you that you please look at that. That is there. There's a little flyer from the software in regards to dispatching. And it's just a brief little synopsis about what it does, but everybody here's got a vested interest, obviously, in transit. Oh, it's been quite the discussion point the last couple of meetings. So please look at that data. I would ask you to do that. You can just at all later time, but it is very interesting to read that. So thank you.
On our iPads, we have special opiates settlement advisory committee meeting minutes, the special housing advisory committee meeting minutes. Was there no budget meeting?
I don't think we got the minutes yet for our last meeting. The minutes we had were for April and May.
Okay.
Didn't really anything reviewed yet.
Okay. Any general public comment in the room? Any general public comment on the phone?
Jeff, that goes down.
I see him.
Well,
Any general public comment on the phone? Jeff, do you want to give anything?
No, I don't have anything. I just got here and got signed on.
we're signing.
Any public comment? The meeting for next week is Tuesday, July 1st, 2025 at 5:30 PM because of the July 4th holiday. Go ahead.
Obviously this meeting went really fast, and we obviously don't have opportunities for us all to be together that often and talk. It's more of a question for Tim. Is there anything, Tim, right now that would be valuable for us to have some discussion on, since we have had such a productive and efficient meeting here and almost finished?
You will on Tuesday.
Well, I
We'll
understand.
have a draft contract for school resource officer, draft contract for Gladwin County inmate housing, and I have gotten 5 years worth of 990s for the animal shelter, so you'll have some
Oh, fantastic.
dollar data to look at.
Oh, good.
Can you make sure all the information is on there like by Sunday evening? So I have,
I hope to have it on there by 5 o'clock tomorrow.
perfect.
So.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.